Have you ever stared at your bank account and seen that magical six-figure number staring back at you for the first time? Congratulations! You have officially joined a club that most people never reach. But here is the thing that nobody tells you about hitting $100,000. Having the money is actually the easy part. Knowing what to do with it without completely screwing up your financial future is where things get interesting. The truth is that $100,000 in 2026 does not buy what it used to a decade ago. The global economy has shifted, and the purchasing power of your savings is being challenged every single day. If you make the wrong move now, you could watch years of hard work evaporate in a matter of months. Today, I am going to walk you through the precise survival manual for your first 6 figures. I will show you why this is the most dangerous financial territory you will ever navigate, and how to turn this milestone into a million-dollar empire. This is the blueprint to ensure you never have to work for money again, because your money is finally working for you. Before we dive into the strategy, make sure to hit that like button if you want to see your wealth grow this year. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into how money actually works in this modern world. Also, stay tuned until the end and drop a comment letting me know what your next big financial goal is after hitting $100,000. The first thing you need to do the moment you hit $100,000 is absolutely nothing. I know that sounds crazy when you have all this cash burning a hole in your pocket, but the biggest mistake people make at this level is immediately rushing to deploy every cent because they are afraid of missing out. This is called financial adrenaline, and it leads to spectacularly bad decisions. You have been grinding and saving every dollar, and now that you have reached the summit, you feel like you need to win big. But take a step back for at least 14 days. Do not buy a new car. And do not tell your neighbors you hit this milestone. Your first move should be moving that capital into a high-yield savings account, earning at least 4 to 5% interest. While you wait 2 weeks to clear your head, that money will generate about $400 in passive interest. Think of this as your cooling-off period to avoid the traps of overconfidence. Once your head is clear, you must look at your foundation. In 2026, the old rule of 3 months of expenses for an emergency fund is no longer enough. With the current economic volatility, you need at least 6 months of liquid cash tucked away in a separate account. This is not an investment, and it is not meant to make you rich. It is insurance against life punching you in the face when you least expect it. If you are married with kids or own a home, this is a non-negotiable part of your wealth-building journey. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you are bulletproof is worth more than any stock market return. Next, we have to talk about the silent wealth killer, which is high-interest debt. If you are carrying a credit card balance at 21% interest while trying to earn 10% in the stock market, you are losing. Paying off a 20% debt is the only investment that gives you a guaranteed 20% return with zero risk. Most people get paralyzed by too many options, and they keep their debt while trying to invest. This is emotional thinking disguised as mathematical reasoning. The guaranteed return from paying off high-interest debt beats the uncertain returns of any investment on the planet. Once your debt is gone and your emergency fund is full, you must look at your tax-advantaged accounts. The year 2026 offers some of the most powerful wealth-building tools available through the Internal Revenue Service. For 2026, you can contribute $7,000 to a Roth individual retirement account. If you are over 50 years old, you can contribute $8,000 because of the catch-up contribution rules. These are not just retirement accounts, but wealth-building machines that let you legally avoid paying taxes on investment growth for decades. You should also look at your 401k or 403b plans at work. If your employer offers a match that is literally free money, and you are leaving it on the table if you do not contribute. Think about the math of the employer match. If they match 50% of your contribution, that is an immediate 50% return on your money before the market even moves. There is no other investment in the world that gives you a 50% head start with no risk. Another secret weapon for those in their 30s and 40s is the health savings account. It is the only account with a triple tax advantage, which means tax-free contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses. Many people use their health savings account as a stealth individual retirement account for their later years. Now let us talk about where the rest of your $100,000 should go for long-term growth. The investment world is designed to separate you from your money through complexity and high fees. Everyone wants to sell you the next big crypto coin or a secret stock-picking system. But the wealthy understand that the most boring investment strategy consistently outperforms the exciting ones. Index funds like the Standard & Poor 500 have averaged around 10% annually for decades. An investment of $100,000 in a simple index fund could become over $260,000 in 10 years without you adding another penny. In 20 years, it could become over $670,000. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is an inevitable wealth-building system. The math is simple, but most people ignore it because it does not give them stories to tell at parties. But having $2 million in 20 years is much more impressive than owning a stock that went to zero yesterday. Do not try to time the market, because 90% of professional fund managers cannot even beat the market. Instead, use a strategy called dollar-cost averaging. Instead of throwing all your remaining cash into the market on a Tuesday morning, spread it out over several months. Maybe invest $10,000 per month for the next several months to reduce the risk of buying at a temporary peak. This strategy protects your emotions as much as it protects your bank account. The sixth move is to understand diversification beyond just owning different stocks. Real diversification is spreading your risk across different types of assets that react differently to the economy. With $100,000 saved, you should consider the power of real estate without the headaches of being a landlord. Real estate investment trusts allow you to own pieces of commercial properties, like apartments and offices, through your brokerage account. If you want to be more hands-on, you could use a portion of your money as a down payment on a rental property. In 2026, leverage is still a powerful tool if you find the right market with strong rental demand. Owning physical assets provides an inflation hedge that stocks sometimes cannot provide. The seventh and most important move is to develop systems that prevent you from sabotaging yourself. Having money is easy, but keeping and growing money requires a discipline that most people do not possess. The financial industry and social media will constantly try to convince you to change your strategy. They want you to trade more and think less because that is how they make their profits. You need to set up automatic investments that move money from your checking account to your investment accounts without your input. When investing becomes automatic, you remove human emotion from the equation. You will not panic sell during a market crash if you are not even looking at the balance. Create rules for yourself, such as only rebalancing your portfolio once a year. The biggest enemy of your wealth is not a market recession, it is your own behavior. People who build serious wealth over decades are just better at not doing stupid things when emotions run high. You also need to be aware of the fees you are paying for your financial advice. A 1% annual fee might not sound like much, but on a large portfolio that is thousands of dollars per year, over 30 years, that 1% fee could cost you over $60,000 in lost returns. This is why low-cost index funds are the foundation of every smart investor's strategy. The difference in fees alone can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your net worth over your lifetime. Tax efficiency is also critical as your wealth grows, because every dollar you pay in unnecessary taxes is a dollar that cannot grow for you. This means holding your dividend-paying assets in tax-advantaged accounts and your growth assets in taxable accounts. But there is a psychological shift that happens when you stop living paycheck to paycheck. Suddenly, you have options that did not exist before, and you can take calculated risks because you have a cushion. You can say no to jobs or opportunities that do not align with your long-term goals. Having $100,000 protects you from making desperate decisions that people without savings are forced into every day. But with this power comes the responsibility not to blow it all on things that make you look rich for 5 minutes. The temptation to upgrade your lifestyle the moment you hit 6 figures is overwhelming. That luxury car or expensive vacation starts looking reasonable when you see a high balance in your account. This lifestyle inflation is what keeps people stuck in the middle class forever, regardless of how much they earn. The wealthy understand that your lifestyle should be based on your passive income and not your net worth. Just because you have $100,000 does not mean you can afford to live like you are rich. That money needs to stay in the engine room and work for you 24 hours a day. If you spend it on consumption, you have nothing to show for it but memories and photos on the internet. But if you let it compound, you will eventually reach a point where the interest pays for your entire life. That is the true definition of financial freedom. It is the ability to wake up every morning and decide what you want to do with your day instead of what you have to do to pay bills. The habits you develop now with your first $100,000 will determine your success for the rest of your life. If you learn to live below your means and invest with discipline, you will naturally continue to grow. The people who struggle financially often make the same fundamental mistakes over and over because they never learned to think long-term. Follow these 7 moves and avoid the flashy traps that destroy most investors. Build your foundation first, and then let the power of time and compound interest do the heavy lifting for you. Your future self will thank you for the strategic decisions you are making today in 2026. If this information helped you understand how to protect and grow your wealth, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more people who need to hear this message. Make sure you are subscribed so you can stay updated on the best financial moves for the years ahead. I want to hear from you, so please leave a comment below. Are you closer to your first $100,000? Or are you already aiming for the $1 million mark? Let us start a conversation about how we can all build a more secure financial future together. Thank you for watching, and stay disciplined on your journey to wealth.